When's the last time you asked yourself this simple question? Why do you create? I know, that's a pretty deep question to tap into, but I like to bring my awareness back to that question here and there. And I also like to ask myself, where does it come from? Essentially, when I think about it, the answer really lies deep down in the heart center. And sometimes your art is right there to help you connect to yourself as a direct portal into your heart. Connecting with yourself and your own energy is a slow, delicate process, similar to the creative process. I've been really feeling like I want to create more paintings lately. It's been what's on my mind and what's in my heart. And it's really easy to convince yourself to not do it or not begin, but I just wanted to follow through with that inner feeling with complete full courage. So in this video, I'm going to share this painting from start to finish with you as we go through this journey together. I love working on clay boards and wooden panels because of the smooth surface, and for the experimental technique I'll be working on today, I decided to work off of my little thumbnail and just do the sketch freehand on the panel itself. No transfers, just surrender and trust, and the pure spontaneity of the creative process. I feel like I'm most called to paint when I'm feeling some intense concept I want to bring to life, and it's a feeling like it almost just sits there and you can't wait to get it out. Do you ever feel that way? Well, developing the sketch was a lot of back and forth for me with this one. The first day, I really took my time with some drawing, redrawing, and I chose to include some magnolias in this piece, not only for their symbolism in various cultures, but also because of their color palette, which was slowly beginning to sizzle and brew in my mind to add to the concept, which we'll uncover together throughout the video. Something I've also been reminding myself lately is that any work of art, any creation, whether it's a piece of writing, a painting, a song, it all takes time. And lots of it. Some more than others, but it's okay to slow down. It's okay to take your time. And something tells me that we all need that lovely, friendly reminder sometimes. As I was developing the backbones and foundation and sketch of this piece, I really focused on the delicacy and the expression, and I just set out an intention for all the elements to play in full harmony. Okay, the sketch is complete. Now what? I've been itching to play with a hot pink underpainting again. The first and only time I did it was quite a while ago, but I was really pleased with the results, so let's do it again. With this experiment, a different subject matter. I'm starting off this painting in acrylic, and thinking a few steps ahead, I just want the hot pink to show through under the oil I might do on top. I got a large flat brush, and I also decided to mix in a little bit of transparent red iron oxide. Then I took a moment to pause, take a photo of the sketch in case it all goes south, but I flipped the thoughts around and told myself it won't, and just said one thing: trust. If you've seen the process for my giant self-portrait where I dripped paint as the underpainting as well, I followed a similar process here because it just allows me to let go and the shapes end up kind of forming themselves. All you have is the moment to rely on, and it's really quite satisfying to build up all the layers with the light washes. I I really prefer to have the transparency show through, and my favorite part is finding all the shapes and stories and lines and movement in those random transparency marks. If we take a moment and really tune in and listen, some answers actually begin to reveal themselves in the moment itself. After building up all of the hot pink layers, I mixed this really light pink and light yellow and continued working from back to front with some expressive little marks. Then it was time to slowly start bringing in some of the values and features into the portrait. I went super slow and delicate to just take my time and not rush. I really wanted to explore the softness and gentleness of feminine energy, yet also convey its strength. So I started to lay in some colors that I thought would work well for that. Lately, I've been really diving deeper into color and how it can play a role on the mood and feel of the piece. As I built up all the background layers, I intentionally started to add little lavender colors and more flow. You guys definitely know I love that. But I also intentionally focused on areas that I thought were working so well, like the top left corner. There was so much beautiful, natural, abstract brushstrokes happening that I just left them there as is. With this first layers working with acrylic, for the transparency layers, I just mixed part of paint and water together. And for the most prominent colors that I wanted to keep throughout the whole painting process, I have these little containers and a quick moment of appreciation for this satisfying moment. But basically, I mix them in these containers so that they're preserved and I don't have to remix the color. Plus, I can match it. I did the same for this lovely yellow candy color. It looks like candy to me. And at this point, I had some music playing and ultimately went right into the flow state and got a little bit more bold with some more glazes and washes. Personally, through my self-exploration, I've really found this process to be very freeing and healing to me, and it allows me to let go of control and perfectionism, and instead just tap into the flow state itself. It allows me to gain courage to make a mark and just let it happen. And don't forget to do a little finger painting while you're at it, you know? And to this day, I sit in awe and satisfaction as the paint just drips. I continued adding some colored glazes and just layering and layering. And as I continue to keep the energy flowing, I just want to let you know this video is kindly sponsored by Squarespace. Whenever creating new paintings and launching new prints that you guys request, it really wouldn't be possible without this all-in-one platform that allows me to showcase my artwork, manage my shop, and after creating a little system for myself, launching a pre-order print and uploading a product has never been easier. With a few drag and drops and selecting one of their award-winning templates, you're pretty much good to go. I probably have this up as a print, so stay tuned to find out for the end of the video. But I've been loving Squarespace for the past few years, and it's really great for all levels. And don't worry, if you ever need some help, they have 24/7 customer support. Give it a try and start your free trial by going to squarespace.com, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/justcarp for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. The experience and process of painting itself and unveiling something, it truly fascinates me every single time. How one wash of paint can drip down and meet with another. How certain shapes begin to form without you even expecting it. I had an idea to create an orb around her, sort of like an energy. Well, I'll let you interpret it your way. But I made this little system with a string and just created a bit more precision there. I didn't want it to be too perfect, but I just wanted slight precision, and I wanted some areas to show through with some yellows and some whites, continuing to connect within, and it felt like I entered the most beautiful portal. contrast all the warm tones, I began adding a little bit of baby blues here and there. And I also took a quick selfie of my face in the same exact expression and position to get that ear and all of the little details that I'll need to do for the portrait itself. I'm a huge believer in taking your own reference. If you're able to, it definitely does a huge impact and positive shift to your piece. Now I also want to bring light into the true creative process. Revelations come in waves and sometimes frustration hits. In certain moments, everything's going smoothly, and in others you realize it's already nighttime and you may feel a bit stuck on what to do next. Thoughts can kick in and tell you all these crazy things. And sometimes I also like to remind myself that they're just thoughts. This is the way the adventure and journey is. One of the best revelations I've had lately is just learning and accepting and making room and space for all of the things throughout the process, throughout life. I truly believe that as humans, we all have the ability to create. In fact, we all create our lives every day. I intentionally chose to include magnolias in this piece. One, I find them exquisite. I genuinely enjoy doing research on the elements I put into my artwork, as they all tend to have some symbolism. And I guess that also contributes to one of the reasons why I create. It helps me feel and understand and get to know our beautiful world. The whole magnolia family has a fascinating ancestry. The flower itself has a wide variety and made its way into ancient traditional Chinese medicine. And I also found out it makes wonderful support for the spirit, as it helps to bring balance of the heart center. Our heart, the mightiest of them all. I also read that the magnolia flower can support our ability to give and receive love, as well as to speak and hear about it. Just some artist late night food for thought, I guess. The next few days of painting, I decided that I took this up to a point where I was ready to move on to working with oils on top. Intuitively and in my heart, I knew that I could get some beautiful softness with the oils. But even with years of working with them, I was still a bit nervous. But after replacing my palette paper of acrylic, it was time to open the oil drawer and crack these bad boys open after so much time. My first love, we've missed each other. So it's been so long since I touched oil paint. I realized time flies quite quickly. I have not realized how long it's been since I've done oil paint. In this step, everything can either go really smoothly or it could just be not the right idea, but we're gonna hope for the best. I think the oil will give us a nice thicker layer and it's just gonna wrap things up, bring a nice smooth texture, buttery look. Time to set up the palette and here goes nothing. After premixing some skin tones, the oils were officially out to play. Working in different mediums has allowed me to realize the different ways it has you shift perspective in your creative process. Acrylic allowed me to create many layers quickly since it dries and I can layer and layer. And since you can work fat over lean, continuing and finishing off with oil paint creates a beautiful softness. And likeness, I guess, because I had a little visitor who landed on the magnolia flower. One of the elements that was on my mind with this piece was just finding that balance between texture and softness, consciously picking and choosing that sweet spot. And one of my favorite ways to do this is working in glazes, just taking a little bit more medium and mixing it with some paint and creating these transparent layers one after another. I also wanted to incorporate some doodles and shapes that I do in my sketches. As I paint, I'm always looking back and forth as to what needs a bit more touch-up, and sometimes when you think it's done, there's just that final push you can take, you know? Just give it that little drop of love and care to take it to the next level and wrap it all up. To add a little bit more dimension into the shadow areas, since the piece had more light tones, I decided to selectively add a little bit of like an alizarin and pinkish tone for the shadows. And with layer after layer, hours and hours into the painting, the feeling of watching the process build up, watching it all come to life, watching it slowly flourish, I knew is another reason why I create. It's quite literally healing for the soul. So, why do you create? If you'd like to share, feel free to express any thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a beautiful discussion, why not? An interesting common theme that's been popping up lately from strangers on the street, friends and family members, random synchronicities, which I guess are not so random after all, and I'm just lately constantly hearing, follow your heart, listen to your heart, and it's funny how it's been showing up. Painting allows me to process certain things, to fully feel that energy. And after staying curious about where it comes from, it all just flows and expresses from within. And I just did my best to connect to that space. And I let this painting be a direct representation and expression of that, trying to connect to its purity, its harmony, its unconditional light. Here she is, all complete. Definitely an explosion on the panel, but it was such an amazing little journey and adventure with this painting. And it's time to hang her up. I'm thinking that I can find a spot somewhere here on my new art wall. This is a new build, so if you want a video on that, definitely let me know. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I hope that it brought some insight to you and all of that was just pouring out. But for those who are interested, I'm going to have a pre-order of the print up on my website, so check out the link somewhere in the description. And after quite some time of thinking about the title, I think I feel really happy with it. So yeah, again, thank you so much. I'm wishing you an amazing day or night wherever you are. And may you stay creative, may you create from the heart, and I'll see you guys in the next one.